One of the reasons why Fortnite is so darn endearing is because of its atmosphere. Unlike other Battle Royale titles, it has a very distinct visual style, and a wonderful sense of humor that makes players of all ages eager to jump onto whatever their preferred platform is and have a go at trying to score that sweet Victory Royale. But for some, the aesthetic of the game has raised a lot of questions, and has spawned a lot of theories concerning the world of Fortnite, and what exactly happened in the past to turn it into what it is today. So we are counting down our picks for the top 10 Fortnite fan theories. Now most of these pertain to why the world is the way that it is, or why certain mechanics in the game act the way they do. We also won't be touching on theories that pertain to what an upcoming season consisted of in the past, since those are kind of outdated now. But before we begin, we want to give a major shout out to our sponsor of this video, Wix. If you're unfamiliar with them, Wix is an awesome and efficient website building platform that lets you create your dream site, molding it into whatever your heart desires. Whether you're building a site for your business, your portfolio, or just your own interests, Wix has got you covered, with advanced features that do all of the heavy lifting for you, and make sure your site and domain are safe and secure. You have total creative freedom, with infinite design possibilities, limited only by your own imagination. We've also made our own site using Wix that's connected through our sister channel Top 10 Nerd, where you can submit your own fan theories to us. Wix has a great contact form feature that allows guests on your site to send you messages, or in our case, theories. You not only get notified through your Wix account, but can also set it up so that you get an email anytime someone tries to contact you, which is super helpful. Anyway, check them out in the video description below. You won't regret it. But before you do that, get ready to jump into some wild fan theories. Starting us off in at number 10, no wildlife. One look at the locations of Fortnite and it's pretty obvious that it takes place after some sort of post-apocalyptic event. But it's not just the people that are missing. There isn't any wildlife, despite there still being a decent amount of vegetation kicking around. Well, the running theory on this is that, just like humans, wildlife can't survive the storm. Most were likely killed off when the storm initially became an issue on the planet. But that also raises another question. How have the structures and buildings managed to survive? How come they're not completely destroyed? And how can vegetation still survive? There's a theory that suggests that perhaps the storm contains properties that affect the biology of mammals and other living creatures that aren't plant life more aggressively. It would make sense. You never see a squirrel running around, do you? Moving on to number 9, aliens. It's been a long-running theory that an alien invasion will become part of one of the game's upcoming seasons. From the meteor to the rocket launch to so many other story details that have appeared in previous seasons, there's a fond hope that somehow an alien invasion will be integrated in the future. These theories hit an all-time high right before Season 4 came out, with players spotting a UFO in the sky nearby the meteor, and the addition of the Save the World missions that mentioned UFO abductions. In addition to this, there's also a lot of speculation about a secondary map being added to the Battle Royale mode that will take place on another planet. So yeah, you'll probably see some aliens there. Or at least the remnants of alien life. Moving on to number 8, superheroes versus aliens. Another big fan theory is that Epic Games will introduce something along the lines of a Fortnite mode that will pin superheroes against aliens. Yup. So the rumors around this one started with the release of teaser images leading up to Season 4 of superhero-esque characters. There's also a superhero and supervillain base that you can explore on the map. While we think that this mode is just wishful thinking, the integration of superheroes and villains into the game continues to grow. And it wouldn't be surprised to see more of this kind of theme presence becoming more prominent in future seasons. Jump on that bandwagon, Epic Games. But it's also worth noting that maybe the integration of the heroes and villains in the first place was because of the crossover event that they did with Marvel thanks to Avengers Infinity War. Remember when Thanos was around? Yeah, it's one way to get your superhero on. Or rather supervillain. The Gauntlet. Moving on to 7, V-Bucks. Most games have their own form of currency, and Fortnite has V-Bucks. But for a while, some people wondered what exactly the V stands for. For many, it was safe to assume that perhaps it meant virtual bucks, all things considered. But as many have speculated, it actually stands for Vendor Tech Bucks, or Vendor Bucks, which is what the online store in the game is called, the Vendor Tech Store. Kinda straightforward theory here, that was confirmed, but if it's something you've ever wondered, well, there you go. That's your answer. Moving on to number 6, Dinosaurs. This would be so cool. So, if you're in between Greasy Grove and Snobby Shores, there's a destroyed house that you can find. 2 halves of it are left barely standing. But what's so neat about it is the imprint left in between those 2 halves. It looks like a giant reptile footprint. And of course, giant reptiles automatically equal dinosaurs. So naturally, people have speculated that there are dinosaurs in the world of Fortnite. But what's more curious is that only a single footprint remains, and this is where the bubble bursts for a lot of us. Now if you look outside the house, you'll see a dolly track with a camera on top of it. A more logical theory to why this is here is that it was some part of a movie set, with people shooting some sort of Jurassic Park creature dino feature before completely disappearing, thanks to the storm. But more on movie sets later. Also, let us know what you guys think about the dinosaurs, because I mean, personally, I'd love that. It'd be really cool. And at number 5, the ice cream truck. After the meteor hit Dusty Depot, it was renamed to Dusty Divot to better fit its new look. Makes sense. But that wasn't the only thing that changed. A research center appeared, presumably to study the effects of the meteor crash on the surrounding area. You'll probably remember that there were even fragments of the meteor that boosted players' abilities, which was pretty neat. But one thing that was really curious surrounding this whole event was the appearance of an ice cream truck that was deeply embedded into the ground. For starters, how on earth did that end up in there without being completely crushed to smithereens? Second, if you try to hit it to get resources, the truck has 100,000 HP. Whoa. Arguably, this has led to speculation that the effects of the meteor made things around it more invincible, hence why players were able to get the ability boost from the fragments, and why the truck has so much HP. But some theories have debated over whether the ice cream truck is more than what it appears to be, and rather it's actually a facade for a more sinister secret. Up next, number 4, the logo. Throughout the game, you'll notice on various objects, particularly vehicles, that sometimes a logo is printed on them. What does that logo stand for? Well, there is no in-game explanation, but it got some players thinking. In case you've never spotted it before, it's a beefy looking yellow triangle outlined in a circle of the same color. You can spot it on various cars and semi-trucks, so clearly in the story world, they must be connected somehow. While many have chalked this up just to be an artistic choice and a little detail to give the world more of a flavor, others speculate that these marked vehicles are much more important. To elaborate, these vehicles are often found in areas like the Dusty Divot Research Center, or the mysterious base located near Snobby Shores. The cars look like black cars that you'd see government agents in the real world driving around in. So because of this, some suspect that these vehicles, prior to being abandoned, were actually part of some government entity or operation, that perhaps their presence is linked to some sort of activity prior to the storm, or I guess in between the storm, that may have been trying to prevent it or stop it or, figure out how the meteor can do that. Lots of questions, but there might be a whole thing in the works that we don't know about when we're dropping in to shoot each other. Just saying. Up next at 3, it's all a movie. There's plenty of video games out there that have fan theories along the lines of, it's all a dream. Any of you out there who have watched our Zelda fan theory video or done a little research on the franchise on your own are likely familiar with how one of the biggest speculations about The Legend of Zelda is that the games are all a dream of Link's. Fortnite has a similar theory, but rather than it all being a dream, it's actually that the game is all part of a movie. Notice that some of the cinematic loading screens from Season 4 feature one of the game's characters, alongside Omega, sitting down and drinking a hot beverage together on the set of a production, implying that they're on a film shoot. There was also film gear added to the map near Moisty Mere. There's a green screen, flats, equipment cases, a camera, a dolly track, a setup for craft services. You name it, all the pieces are there. This led some to speculate that perhaps Fortnite's Battle Royale is all part of a movie production, and that there isn't any real conflict going on. Storm and all of the game's happenings are just part of a film, or rather a television series, with each season of the game having its own season arc for viewers and players to enjoy. Kinda makes sense. This would also tie together nicely with our Dino movie theory from number 6. The map in Fortnite might just be one massive movie studio and living soundstage. Who knows? Up next at 2, the Storm. One of the biggest characteristics of Fortnite is the Battle Royale mode closes in on players thanks to the storm. It's how we all get brought together to kill one another. The storm's purple clouds and haze have long been debated by players. Why is it so deadly? What exactly makes it harmful? Based off of all of its characteristics, there's reason to believe that the storm is actually acid rain. Acid rain in the real world is when rainfall has become acidic thanks to atmospheric pollution, which can be caused by burning coal or other fossil fuels and other harmful gases being released into the environment. Perhaps the reason why the population of the world in Fortnite is completely absent in the game, and why everything has been abandoned, is thanks to an environmental disaster, which could have happened elsewhere on the planet, and all of its original occupants have either died or were forced to evacuate. This also makes sense why there is no wildlife in the game either. They all got dead, can't drink the water, can't eat the grass. And finally, in at number 1, Fortnite isn't on Earth. Despite Fortnite's Battle Royale being the most popular game mode, it all started with its other mode, Save the World. And turns out, Save the World may harbor a lot of answers to the questions that have had fans scratching their heads. For starters, in Save the World, the game constantly refers to your location as the world, or that you are the world's best heroes, not Earth's. Secondly, at the beginning of Save the World, there's a cutscene that plays, where we see a robot assistant speaking to the player about plans to survive through the purple storm. The robot assistant holds up a sketch that, upon closer look, has some intriguing details. You can make out a drawing of 2 planets orbiting the sun along with a rocket ship and a slew of other calculations beneath it. There's an arrow that signifies that the orbiting planets are moving counterclockwise. This could very well imply that Fortnite takes place on a planet that isn't Earth. The sketch isn't the only piece of evidence either. Some believe that Fortnite takes place on Venus, or a planet inspired by Venus, since the planet in in the game shares some visual similarities with it. Venus is also known to have acid rain, which would explain the bit about the storm. So, I don't know, what do you guys think? Is this a fictional Earth-like planet, or is it, something entirely different? Or is it Earth, but I don't know, the solar system has changed? So many questions, not enough answers. Alright, there we have it, friends. Which of these theories was your favorite? Do you have your own theory that you want to let us know about? Be sure to give us a shout in those comments below. Speaking of sharing your theories, be sure to head on over to our Wix site, www.top10nerdfantheories.com, and submit there. And to find out more about our awesome sponsor Wix, check out the deets in the video description below. In the meantime though, thanks for watching everybody. I'll catch you all in the next video.